I think ultimately we're going to be looking at Bernie Sanders versus Elizabeth Warren probably by December. I think it's really going to come down to Bernie Sanders versus Elizabeth Warren. I think that's a contest Bernie Sanders could win, and that brings me to who needs to drop out of this race. I got a few. First of all, this goes without saying. Goodbye, Tom Steyer. Like, there's no need. There's literally not a reason on earth for this man to be on a debate stage. It's laughable when he talks about corporations have bought the government. You've been buying these politicians for years as well. Granted, he's strong on climate change and this and that, but he's railing against the system that he uses for his benefit. So, you would make a very good, secretary or, I don't know, czar of something. But you don't have any business on this debate stage. You bought your way onto the debate stage by pumping the airways with endless ads. You did your little impeachment, I started the impeachment move in 2 years. Here's a cookie. Goodbye. We don't want you. There's no need for you. Get out now, and maybe you could become ambassador to something. Seriously, there's no need. No need at all for Tom Steyer. Number one, Beto O'Rourke needs to get the hell out of here. I'm sorry. Beto O'Rourke against Lucifer Ted Cruz is one thing. Beto O'Rourke, there's no there. I don't know what his signature policy is. Frankly, I don't know. Maybe against Ted Cruz he looked like Mick Jagger, but on stage in a presidential, he's got about as much charisma as my left thumb. Beto O'Rourke, there's been enough time. He's not rising in the polls. He doesn't have any signature, anything to his campaign. It's just a lot of hoity-toity, let's heal the world kind of nonsense. We need Beto O'Rourke to step aside. If you want to go run for something in Texas, God bless you. But you're taking up space. You're taking up space. So Beto O'Rourke, gone. Cory Booker, gone. Again, no signature policy. A lot of this nonsense neoliberal talk. He like Amy Klobuchar on stage. We're making the same mistake of going after each other instead of Trump. No, this is a primary. This is the time you go after each other. They're not attacking your dog. They're attacking you and your policies. You don't have any signature policies that I could see. You're running on love. Go be president of Rosario Dawson, because that's his girlfriend. I'm cool with that. But there's no reason for Cory Booker to be in this race anymore. He doesn't have a chance to win, and he's just taking up space. Frankly, he's taking up space. And if Cory Booker, like Kamala Harris, is coming in 4th or 5th in his own state of New Jersey, what does that tell you? If you get out now, Cory, then you could be strongly considered to be Elizabeth Warren's vice president or Biden's vice president or whatever. But you're just taking up space, and you're not. If you're saying the main thing is to beat Trump, then all these people taking up space and really taking away from the actual core debate from the leading candidates, drop out. Get out. Julian Castro, A-B. If this is a multiple choice test, A and B. Julian Castro, there is no there. I like that he brought up the children, being in cages during the debate. Obviously, he's got appeal to certain demographics, but he's another neoliberal guy. As HUD secretary, he sold off foreclosed homes to Wall Street. What is Julian Castro's calling card to be in this debate? What is Julian Castro's anything to be considered for president over somebody like Bernie or Biden or Warren? Nothing. There's nothing there. And I'm not saying that people necessarily, just because you're polling lowly, Andrew Yang is polling lowly, but he has a huge grassroots movement. And a lot of people don't know about Andrew Yang. I don't support Andrew Yang, but he has a lot more of a grassroots movement than Amy Klobuchar does, or Julian Castro, or Cory Booker. So what are we doing here? So Castro, gone. This might be a controversial one to some easily triggered folk. I'm sorry. Kamala Harris, drop out. she's getting worse every single debate, and there's no there. There's no if your signature policy is like a $6,000 a year tax credit, yes, on paper that sounds good. So basically, your signature policy is Andrew Yang in half. Andrew Yang's signature policy is $12,000 a year UBI. Kamala Harris has a $6,000 earned income tax credit. That $6,000 is helpful. It doesn't structurally change anything. It doesn't get the toxicity of money out of politics. It doesn't do a damn thing about regulation. It doesn't do a damn thing about the demolition of unions. It doesn't do a damn thing about big tech, big media. None of it, because she's bought off. Kamala Harris's campaign is run by Hillary Clinton's old campaign people. So people see that there's no there. And if your biggest case to be made against, I think she's argued with Elizabeth Warren about you should demand Trump get off Twitter, this is what you're doing? So I'm sorry. I think she should drop out, because she would be one of the leading contenders for vice president for Biden, maybe Warren, definitely another establishment candidate. But if you believe, Kamala Harris speaking, that your best strategy now is to go all in on Iowa, what's the best thing that's going to happen? You're going to come in second or third, but you've gone all in Iowa, so you're not going to do well in New Hampshire. You're not going to do well in South Carolina. So I don't see a path for her other than she's trying to raise her political profile, but I don't really know how you're going to raise your political profile by just basically treading water and clogging up space. She had a moment in that first debate, and she didn't capitalize on it after. That's on her. And maybe if she stood by her convictions, she was for Medicare for all for 5 seconds, and then she moved away from it because Hillary Clinton's donors and Hillary Clinton's campaign staff told her, cut it out. Wall Street, I told them to cut it out. They told Kamala Harris, cut it out with that progressive nonsense. So Kamala Harris, gone. Sorry. Amy Klobuchar, I know the media thought she did so swell because they propped her up and gave her a lot of time. I don't know. There's no there. She keeps she's trying to sound like a populist by saying, you're not the only ones with plans. Right, but your plans are just more crumbs for the worker bees. She said, I covered it 2 weeks ago. She says, oh no, canceling student debt is bad for the economy. Serious economists say this would be the biggest, what do they call that? This would be the biggest stimulus to the economy, canceling student debt. What she's talking about is it would be a drag on the capitalists who want to collect on that money. Oh, everybody wants something for free. What are you, Mitt Romney? You're a Democrat? This is what she said. Everybody wants something for free. So, gone. Gone. So I just named 5. Frankly, some people aren't going to like this. I have to be consistent. I think that Tulsi Gabbard has really, really been screwed. Clearly, she's been screwed by the DNC. They fudged around with the polling to not let her be in this second debate. In the third debate. And in the fourth debate, they clearly gave her as limited time as possible and cut her off before she could have a really strong moment against Warren. Tulsi Gabbard does have a big grassroots movement behind her, bigger than the names I just told you to drop out. So I'm not saying Tulsi Gabbard needs to drop out, because I do think she has a grassroots movement behind her. But I also think that Tulsi Gabbard she's running, I believe, not thinking she's going to win, but to make the case to end these wars and regime change. But you also have to look at the political reality, and that 1 to 2 to 3% that she's getting in a lot of polls, some polls even more than that, that support, if she knows there's no pathway, that could be pivotal towards the person you're most closely aligned with, Bernie Sanders. So I'm not trying to say, oh, you, the woman, drop out. It's not about her being a woman or a man or whatever. The media has successfully screwed you. I don't see a scenario, to be honest with you, that she's going to win. And right now, even that 1 to 2% can make a difference, because I think her support would go to Bernie Sanders. So I think she probably should stay in it for another debate if they allow her to be in it. But I do think she needs to start thinking about, do you want to take this all the way to Iowa when you're negating from the progressive, the real progressive, not that she's not a progressive, but the person you're closest to in Bernie Sanders. So that's my opinion about Tulsi. I'm kind of like in the middle. I don't think she should drop out, but I think she also shouldn't ride this to Iowa because, frankly, you're running against a corrupt party that's, if you think they're trying to knock out Bernie over Medicare for All, they're going to go even harder at someone talking about ending these wars. So I just gave you 5 that need to drop out. I don't think Biden needs to drop out. Obviously, he's second or third in most of the polls. He's the former vice president. I think it's better for Bernie the longer Biden stays in, because I think he's just going to keep on fading, and eventually he's going to combust because he can't construct full sentences without stuttering or forgetting what he wants to talk about or the point. It's only good if Biden stays in a little longer. Obviously, Warren's not going to drop out. Bernie's not going to drop out, but everyone else I just listed, Mayor Pete, I forgot him. Mayor Pete is going to stay in because Mayor Pete's strategy now is to basically be Biden younger and sounding more coherent, and thinking that when Biden eventually stumbles and plummets, Pete will pick up that Biden mantle. So I don't necessarily, I mean, I think he's a hack, but it's not a stupid strategy to basically be the younger Biden waiting in the wings. But I actually think when Biden eventually stumbles, I think a lot more of those supporters are going to go to Bernie Sanders, not Pete Buttigieg. And I think Pete Buttigieg, like I said with Beto O'Rourke, there is no there. There's no there. And it was just exposed. Somebody found a tweet of his. He was saying he was for Medicare for All a year ago. He's just another blow with the wind political hack. No more of this. No, I didn't forget about Andrew. I don't think Andrew Yang should drop out. Unlike the others, he is a real grassroots movement. So I don't support Andrew Yang. I've already covered why I don't. But at least, I mean, he's polling better than Beto. He's polling better than Klobuchar. He's polling better than Harris in most polls. And he's got a huge I think he just raised $10 million in the last 3 months. So I don't think Andrew Yang should drop out. I mean, I think Andrew Yang kind of knows he's not going to win the nomination, but he's bringing up some important issues. I don't agree with his remedies, but I don't think Andrew Yang needs to drop out. I would love to see a debate stage with Bernie, Biden, Warren, Yang, Tulsi. You know, you want to throw in Pete, but I think the rest need to drop out. Cory Booker, no path. No there. Amy Klobuchar, no path. No there. Julian Castro, no there. No path. Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statusquo.com where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statusquo.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.